Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to do another quick unboxing. I just got this Sigma 3514 art lens today. I made a trade, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but I just want to do a quick unboxing and go through some of my kind of first thoughts on this as I unbox it. Alright, so the first thing I want to point out is I really like this box. So the way I got this lens, I actually took in my Nikon 24-70 2.8, the non-VR version, which is a fantastically sharp lens. It's built like a tank. But I was just kind of getting to the point in my personal photography where it wasn't really a lens that I felt inspired with. Just not something that I was really going for in terms of a lens. I found that I kind of used more of the middle of the lens more than the either end. So I started looking into going an all prime setup and specifically looking for a wider angle replacement lens. And this is kind of what I came across. So I was able to do an even trade at my local camera shop, the Traverse City Camera Shop. Shout out to them for making this all possible. Some great people that do awesome film processing there. And the lens box is way smaller. So the lens is way smaller, and that's the main thing that prime lenses have. While you might have more of them, you can bring less bulk weight gear to certain shoots depending on what you're trying to do. Obviously, if you have a whole slew of primes, it could add up to more, but you still have more capability than what you would with a zoom. So I like how small the box is. It looks great. It's fine. If you care about the box, here's what it looks like. This is a Nikon mount. So I'll open it up. All right, and right on top on the inside, looks like we have some, probably some warranty card stuff. Let's take a quick look. This blue-ish looking thing is limited warranty. Put a little sticker on that, which I think is here. Yep, that's the sticker. An instruction booklet that nobody cares about because you know how to do it if you're buying this lens. Alright, so comes in this little nice pouch, way smaller, way less heavy duty than the Nikon 24-70, but I think that's a good thing because you probably don't really use this ever unless you're traveling, maybe like a lot, but that's just my opinion. So I'll get it opened up. It's just a nice case, nothing crazy. It's got a little belt loop on the back, so if you want to like tack belt it, then I guess that's what you do. So here's the box. Alright, so looking inside, take the lens out, open the hood too. So they're kind of like wrapped separately in plastic. Nothing else in the bottom. Looks like there's this little foam insert, you know, if you care about these things. One thing I like to do is just talk about things that I would want to know if I was buying the lens, because there's all this information on the internet, but sometimes I find that there's that one little thing that I wanted to know before I bought it, or, you know, just I think it's good to have a wealth of information on the internet, which is what I'm trying to say, which is what it's there for. So I think that any little unboxing video that you watch, maybe you've watched 6 of these already from other people who have great videos, and maybe you're still just trying to look for that extra bit of information. That's what I'm trying to do with my videos as I kind of start doing more videos, is being someone who's very into gear and into analyzing things and making good decisions for gear and business and whatnot. I just want to make sure that I'm making the best decisions, so hopefully one of my videos helps you do something somewhere along the line. So I will toss this to the side. Again, case is fine, nice, small, compact. Let's do the hood first because lens hoods are super exciting. Now, like I said in my 85 video, which you can check out on my channel, this is just plastic, I'm not a huge lens hood person. Unlike a lot of people, I like lens flare. I like that more imperfect image. That's another thing that I want to talk about in this unboxing and this kind of first impressions is a lot of people, you'll find these, I mean, I've spent tens of hours, it feels like at least, looking at the internet for this freaking lens, and half the videos are like, in the posts are things that I don't care about as a shooter. So I don't care about charts. I don't necessarily care about sharpness. While it's important, it's not the most important. I'm looking for more of the aesthetic, the experience with the lens, and just, can I trust it, things like that. And obviously I won't be able to tell you all those things in this video, but I'm kind of stepping out on a little faith here. But that being the case, going back to lens hood, sorry, rabbit trail, it's a really great lens hood. I mean, it is kind of got like a I guess you could say a ribbing on the inside. It's got like a grip on the outside. There's nice markers here for like in and out, so you know which way to rotate with things, little small things that make a difference. It's really, I mean, it's a solid hood. It's plastic, not metal, but it's fine. Again, if you're doing something, I think I said in my 85 video, if you are doing an event outdoors where, like think of like a concert or a festival. I do some stuff here in town for like things like that. It might be a good idea to have this on as you're slinging cameras on your hip, and they might get bumped around in large crowds of people. But for me personally, if I'm shooting like a wedding or portrait session, I just leave this at home because it's just one extra thing that I don't really actually care about, and I am okay with stray light because I think you can have a little bit of creativity with it. Kind of going on what I was saying earlier, I guess I'm getting into a mini rant, so sorry if this is already going to be a long video, but hopefully you're interested. You know, a lot of people will be like, oh, this lens is really great when you stop it down to f like 5.6 or 4, or which to some people you might be watching like, oh, I always shoot there. Like, I almost only shoot wide open. So if that's you, this video is hopefully going to help you out. I mean, there are times where I might stop it down to 2 or 2.8. I mean, I'm not saying I don't shoot it stop down. There are times where that's better, but I mean, I would even shoot a landscape at 1.4 because I like that quality in the focus fall off and things like that. So that's what you should be thinking about, so you know where I'm coming from. I am not a chart shooter. Okay, so we got just a regular plastic on the lens, and here is the lens. So this thing is awesome. It's nice and hefty. I think my biggest things, like I said about with the 85 here, is that I like lenses that feel like they're built well. That's important to me. While I am now officially at an all prime setup, so you'd think I'm trying to get smaller, lighter. I do want my lenses to be smaller and lighter, but I don't want them to feel cheap. That makes a big difference for me. I'm interested in that quality. That's just what I'm personally into. There are times where you might need something lighter weight, and there's times when you might not. So for me, I'd rather have a little extra weight and have it be a higher quality. This thing feels really nice. These you probably seen pictures like up close or whatever. Maybe I'll have some while we're going through this. This part here is all metal. This part is plastic. This part is metal. The focus ring is, well, I guess that's metal and plastic, it feels like. The front is, feels metal, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So this thing is just really nice. I'm looking at it, okay. Trying to think of anything that I would want to know. This cap, this front cap, it's not that great, but it's not that bad. It's a little chunky, feels a little cheap, but it's like the squeeze, I guess you could say, is nice. I mean, if that's something that you're thinking about. Actually, somewhere along the lines, I came across a Nikon, what is this, a 67mm cap, so if I lose this one, I got another one, but I don't, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. If that really bothers you, you can buy a different cap. This front element's really nice. It's got a nice, kind of beautiful little purple and green shimmer to it. You can see down the barrel here. I don't know where the camera can see. Hopefully somewhere in there. Really nice. Nothing. I guess nothing feels cheap about it, even though it's like the cheapest 35 you can get. I know there's cheaper options, but it's definitely more modestly priced than the Nikon or the Canon, and performs, in most cases better, at least on the older models. Yeah, so one thing I'm noticing is when you focus, there is no internal barrel movement. It's all going to be happening in the rear. Let me take the rear cap off and see what's happening. Okay, so the back element does move in and out, which is fairly normal. It doesn't move on the front, which I'm a fan of. On the Nikon 51.4, I hate how the inside of the front barrel moves. To me, it just kind of, I don't know, I guess wouldn't want to say it necessarily feels cheap. It seems like that's not something that needs to be done. Maybe I'll do a review on that lens. Sometimes I've been shooting it for 2 years or whatever. Yeah, but this thing is just built like a tank. This AF switch, nice and stiff. Doesn't feel cheap. Not like stiff cheap, but like just really clicky. I mean, I'm sure it'll wear in over time. The same thing with the focus ring. I noticed when I was playing with this in the store, it's definitely got some resistance to it, and I think just over time it'll wear in a little bit, and that's totally fine with me. I mostly autofocus my lenses, but in the event that you override your focus, it's just going to take a hair more effort, but who cares? Seriously. So, what else? It's got the nice little art badge here. Again, everything feels and looks like a premium lens. It's just got a hefty feel to it. I get a quick shot here of the 85 and the 35 together. Boom! How's that look? Yeah, dream team right here. So they're pretty close in size. Obviously, one's a little narrower, one's a little fatter, one's a little taller. The volume, they're probably almost the same. So, back to the lens. Let's do a quick video. Hey, Tonks. My cats are over here. So, the one thing I noticed is when you put the hood on, it has a nice click. You've probably seen some other videos of it too. That just like, listen. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So, just a really nice click on the lens. It just feels good, like you know it's in, I guess. I don't know. Kind of like the 24-70 Nikon, there is a good click to it. It doesn't have that pin that one has, if you're familiar. That like locking mechanism. There's not like a button that you press, but it's very similar. Again, that's a satisfying click. I know some other brand lenses you just like kind of pray it's in there, I guess. So it looks good with the hood on. Do some shots like that. Sorry, I have ADD. These cars keep driving by. So, yeah, things look good. Let's take a look at the back here. Take that hood off because I don't care about it. So, obviously, everybody knows, if you're looking into this lens, that there is no weather sealing gasket on the back. And I've read a lot online. I'm actually going to Seattle in like a couple days, and I wanted this lens for it. But I found a little rubber gasket. It's small, it slides in the back, and I think that's going to do a lot of the work for me there. You can read some forums online. I think that's a really good option. To me, having a gasket on the back is not worth double the price. I think, while I would much prefer, I don't know why they didn't put a gasket on here. I can't imagine it's really that hard. But again, for the trade-off in price, even though I traded for it, the trade-off in price to me is not worth the gasket. And from every review I've read, from like Sam Hurd, shout out to Sam Hurd, never met you in my life, but you did answer my message, and that was very cool of you, kind of recommending doing what I did. This lens performs better than the Nikon in almost every way, other than maybe some more subjective characteristics. It's definitely sharper, wide open, so if you care about that, this is you just can't beat it. I'm sure Nikon will come out with a new 35. I know Canon just did, but again, it's going to be that price to performance ratio that I guess I'm not sold that it's worth the difference in the price. So I guess that's kind of that. So just kind of wrapping up this video. It looks like I'm kind of going a little bit long here, but yeah, I'm just really excited for this lens. I guess my biggest thing, and I guess I'll do another video on it, is that I went through a lot of like personal turmoil, I guess you could say, parting with my first Nikon Pro lens. I got the 24-70 to go for an off-brand prime. A lot of people will go back and forth on the internet about that switch, and I finally got to the point where I realized I was ready to do it, and I think this is kind of my personal little dream team of lenses. You can basically do, if you can't do, you probably do like 90% of everything with these two lenses, other than things that are very far away for like sports and whatnot. But for a wedding portrait photographer like me, that's the majority of what I do. These two guys are going to be, in my opinion, much better than a 24-70 or something like that. I will make another video about that because this one's way long. I will say the Sigma actually feels a little heavier than the Nikon 85-1.4, if that matters to you. Trying to think about what else you might want to know about it. Again, this is made in Japan, metal rear mount, talked about the gasket. Everything else looked good. This rear cap feels nice and sturdy. It's not as nice as a Nikon one, but again, does it really matter? I guess one thing I want to shout out is that if you have a question about this, please ask me in the comments below. You can tweet me at Mr. Ben Law. You can tweet me at Ben Law Photography, whatever. Send me a message somewhere, and I will try and answer your question about this thing. I hate that it's so hard to get information that you might want that might not be easy to find on the internet. So if there's any way I can help you make a decision about this lens, please ask me. I would love to do that. I think that's basically it, and you can probably see other stuff on the internet too about it, and I just wanted to kind of add my 2 cents. So I'm very happy with this lens, and I can't wait to use it. One thing I forgot to add is some people talked about the autofocus problems that some of these lenses have, since they have a little bit less rigorous of a factory discrepancy, I guess. Basically, your lens can be front or back focused from the factory, and so can your camera body. So sometimes you have to mix those things together, and you get something that's, you know, more neutrally balanced, or it could be way off kilter in one way. Given a quick test, this thing seems to be pretty close. I got my Spider lens cal downstairs that I will be calibrating with this before I leave for my trip, and it should be good to go from there. Or you can also use the Sigma USB dock, which I may check out. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out the more videos to come, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.